what area of the NBA game would you incorporate any type of robotical decision making regarding calls? And if you don't want to include robotical decisioning in the NBA, then just say you don't want any of it.
Yeah.
But if you were to put it in, what would you use it for exactly?
I'll start. I'll say I wouldn't include any robotic AI or anything like that having to do with a referee's job. I love the human aspect of just of life. Like I feel like it would take away from the humanness of basketball if you insert robots to do a referee's job. You know, I don't know.
So then you don't agree with, I guess, MLB incorporating robot umpires for the strike zone? Or is that a different type of problem than the NBA?
I think it's a little different.
Umpires call strikes that are out of the strike zone and call balls that are inside the strike zone.
I think it's a little different. I think refereeing in a basketball game is more gray. There's more gray area but when it comes to baseball, it's black or white. It's over the plate or it's not. You know what I mean? Okay. And so when it comes to the NBA, there's more so like a gray area because certain games get called a certain way. Do you know what I mean? For baseball, you call it how it is every single time. But I think the human aspect of refereeing should absolutely stay in the NBA. But just to like counter that position, I think, well, I've heard many stories of how dangerous it is to referee in other countries other than the U.S. Like, if one person makes a bad call, if one referee makes a really bad call, that person's life could be on the line. Yeah. Like I've heard Fetty's told me stories about like Egyptian soccer tournaments or soccer games where referees were literally sniped at. I'm telling you, like actually sniped, tracked down and sniped and killed after the game when they made a mistake on a call. So refereeing is definitely, it's dangerous. So when it comes to that, I could see why you would want to have perfection, because then you're not going to get fans upset. You're not going to have people lose money on bets that they made because a referee made a stupid call. You know what I'm saying? So that's understandable, but still, I just like the human aspect of the game, and humans tend to make mistakes, and it's okay. We'll live with that. So,
okay,
Tyler, what do you think?
Good answer. We actually have agreement this week. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. The NBA is just so tough to kind of have a robot kind of do things because, like I said, there is a human aspect to things. Like in the playoffs, for example, a lot of things are physical, and if there's an AI, they'll instantly call those fouls, and the system could easily be messed with by certain teams, and it could lead to like a bunch of scandals and stuff like that.
Interesting.
As far as the NBA goes, look, I mean, there's so many technological advancements going on every now and then. I'd rather put the technology to actual use, like get smarter with like analytics when it comes to like, players' performances and physical fitness and stuff like that. You're seeing it now, Steve Ballmer with arenas. I mean, Into a Dome is just stupidly advanced, like. Mm-hmm. It's just more to kind of like unpack than anything we've ever seen. We saw in the All-Star game this past year, we saw, they have like a smart court that can change colors and everything like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're seeing like all this stuff when it comes to like technology. And I think for me, it's like, I don't think when it comes to like impacting a live game like that, it needs to be humans doing it. Because at the end of the day, the humans are the ones playing. And the humans should be the ones officiating.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be any sort of artificial intelligence that, that isn't. It's still not mastered yet. AI is just starting to come onto the scene now. There's still a lot of flaws, but I mean, there could be a universe where AI becomes, I guess, part of it.
Right.
But I just don't know. I don't feel like there's a place for it currently in this league as far as refereeing goes.
Oh yeah.
Because that could lead to a whole other world of problems.
Like what?
Like, just like with when it comes to VAR in soccer, like the system is so flawed because the people that run it are so biased.
Interesting.
That you just want to get rid of the whole thing. So I think AI sounds cool in theory, but in practice it just sounds like a total mess.
I agree. I think even if we have AI incorporated into the NBA somehow, some way, there's always going to be a level of corruption, whether there's humans refereeing the game or if there's AI. Because guess what? Who's programming the AI? Humans,
Exactly.
right? So there's going to be, and who can hack? People can hack, get into these different, computer systems, or whatever. So there's always going to be a level of corruption. So perfection, I don't think it will ever be a possibility when it
Right.
comes to refereeing, ever.
I agree with you in that sense because, like I said, it's a really tough job, right?
Yeah.
You got in intense games, whether it's in the regular season or the playoffs, it's hard to you're impacting the game. You're deciding who wins essentially.
Right.
If that's the case, but it's better for them not to get involved. So it's tough, but I think it needs to stay human.
Can you imagine techs with AI or robot referees? Like, do you think players would get pissed at the referees if they're robots? Like,
Oh, I imagine that.
I can't imagine.
But there has to be someone on the field, or on the court essentially.
Right.
Like,
Correct.
Like maybe they use AI when it comes. How about this? Can I counter
Yes.
with this? What if we use AIs for reviews and challenges?
I was gonna go there.
I think that's probably better in the sense that the AI will easily be able to tell if it's a foul. They'll be able to tell who it last touched. They'll be able to tell whose ball it is and any 50-50 calls like that. Because those are the one thing humans fuck up big time is just those tough to call 50-50 things. You'll never again have not enough evidence to overturn the call.
Right.
They'll know it right away.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably that's in my opinion, that's the best way you can include AI is in that sense.
Okay. Yeah. But still, though, those plays where a player hits it out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
But it goes in the other direction, so it ends up being like the other player's ball
Yeah.
when it should be this ball. Like technically, it went off their fingers, but it still was pushed out by that guy. Like plays like that, I don't know. I don't know if the AI would have much of an effect on those.
Well, I think you can probably include like a touch sensor within the basketball that tells whose fingers it would last went off of. But it's kind of hard. How do you program it to know what players' numbers are and whose body is what? It'd be like the soccer ball has a sensor that tells it that goes over the line completely.
Right.
That's the goal line technology. But it's different with basketball. We know the ball's out of bounds. We just want to know who it came off of. It's hard to tell that we know the ball is out of bounds in NBA, but we want to know who touched it last. In soccer, you just want to see if the ball's over the line for a goal.
Well, what if they had some technology on the baseline, the sidelines, where you could tell if a player's foot touches the line?
They can, yeah.
Well, yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be
I
cool.
can do that.
Yeah, but we're saying if it tips off somebody and both going at the ball and you see it touch both players, but the
Right.
angle is so bad you can't tell who came off last,
Well,
a knee or
that's the thing
a
with AI
finger.
though. AI can
Yeah,
can
you can
advance that
figure that.
through AI. It could show you every angle possible in a
Yeah.
360 way.
Yeah.
So I think that I see a place for that in the NBA personally.
I
I think
agree.
it works
Okay.
because it would just take away any sort of human error essentially. Even though someone's operating it, the AI will give you its own
Yeah.
unique result every time.
Yeah.
So
The AI suggested, the decision.
the AI deems that it went off of
Right.
the Clippers and now it's Warriors basketball.
Right. But what if the AI has a Clipper bias?
The person running it.
That's
Yeah.
the person.
Yeah.
That's where you got to get
Essentially,
somebody.
that's what it is. You got to get someone impartial, but that doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
everyone's going to have their biases.